I'm doing a show at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival. It's called Why Am I Like This? It's about love and all sorts of shit, but basically I roast everyone I've ever met. If you like what I do here, get your tickets now.
Well
That's
done.
good. We get a free.
How cool is that?
Well, you need to do another intro now.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome back to the amazing Yvonne Hughes. Yvonne. Do you say Yvonne or Yvonne? I would say Yvonne.
Why would I say Yvonne?
Because
no.
Have you never heard people say you?
Oh, I've had
like
all. My granda and my grandma, Yvonne, 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 Avon.
Yvonne.
It's just Yvonne. And I said to my mum, why did you call me that? I've got a sister called Sharon. And my mum says, well, I was going to call you Tracy, so it would have been Sharon Tracy. So, which was a kind of Essex girls of the 80s or something. So I'm quite glad that didn't happen. So, Yvonne.
You're the classier.
Yvonne, French.
Yvonne Chanel.
Yvonne.
No, wait, Chanel Tenage.
Yvonne Chanage.
Anyway, so if you saw the last episode, we talked about, I actually don't know at this point, we're like an hour and a half in, and I think we talked about how Yvonne started comedy and good venues and things like that. So what are we going to talk about? What's coming up? Well, we'll see. I think we're going to talk about Giggles for Glasgow. I can't fucking say. Giggles from Glasgow.
That's ridiculous.
I know, it's so bad.
That's absolutely outrageous.
It's
It's
just
like 3 words.
It's so
And we
simple.
do have a bit of a confusion over fe and from, but you know what we mean.
Glasgow.
Glasgow. I still say Giggles from Glasgow. The Instagram's Giggles from Glasgow, I think. So we all were like, what is it? What is it? What is our branding? What's our message?
What's our brand?
What's our point?
Who are we? Anyway, go check them out. Go check out the show on the 21st of December. Wait, no, that's what we say at the end of the episode. But this is the start of the episode. That's what we're going to talk about. We're talking about, I guess, the Edinburgh Fringe, probably some stuff about the Glasgow International Comedy Festival, and I can't remember what else. But this is my amazing guest, Yvonne Hughes, and I'm sure this is going to be 2 very cohesive episodes intercut by disastrous intros and outros. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Loving the Christmas vibes.
Yes, this was definitely me. Yvonne was not responsible for most of this.
We're girls doing a podcast about stand-up comedy. It's out on a limb.
So, what is the best gig you've ever done?
Oh, well, yeah. It wasn't that long ago. And I just got nice feedback all around, like the audience, the bookers were in the room sort of thing, and the comedians around me. I just knew that I'd done well. And there was, so yeah, it was just amazing. I just felt like, as I say, a lot of the time I come off stage, whether I've done well or not, I just have that same kind of ambivalence sometimes. But
that's that.
sometimes I do, that's it done, I can go home or whatever. But sometimes I do know I've done all right, but I don't like to brag, is obviously my mantra. And so yeah, it was just, and I really enjoyed Edinburgh eventually, doing the show. I found my whole style of performance was different. So yeah, the best gig was, well, I talk about throwing out a dildo, don't I?
Yeah.
So so that was good.
I love that story because I was going to say she'd hate this, but she's passed on, so...
I know this one you've told me.
Did I tell you?
Well, yeah. But remind me, just in case it's something different.
It was just that when I was a kid, I remember going out to take like plastic out to the recycling bin or whatever, opened the bin to put it in, saw something, ran back in the house, grabbed my brother, my older brother, who was much more uptight than me, and he's never going to listen to this. It's also just true. It took him out, and I went, and I must have been 15, so he would have been like 18 probably. I just dragged him out. He was like, "What are you showing me?" I lifted the bin up, and I went, "Look!" There's a massive cock and balls outline of plastic. And he just screamed and then ran into the house, and I ran in after him, and he runs up to my mum. Mum's like, what's going on? He just goes, "Mum, how could you?"
So So he knew what it was.
Oh yeah, he was 18. I mean, he was 18.
Oh, right, 18.
Like, he should have that. Exactly. But he was just so horrified that my mother might ever have it. And she went, no, it's in there because it was too big, so we got rid of it. And I'm like, yeah, sure.
The common problem
Yeah.
with dildos, yeah. We reach for the stars and we realise it's just
That's too
much
effort. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to have to be the horniest I've ever been in my life in order to use this thing.
I suppose you can't just say you've had one good gig, you know, like there's been lots, but yeah.
Back to the point.
Back to the point, yeah. So I didn't specifically say what one it was because
Could be any.
could be any.
What's the best venue? What's your favourite? Like,
A stage I feel comfy in.
yeah, like I guess you enjoy most.
Well, yeah. I try to think walking on when I don't feel like too bad. Just anywhere that's kind of, it needs heat. Anywhere that's got heat in it is good. Any venue where I'm freezing my nipples off, I'm kind of not on board with it. So every venue. So I mean, I love the Panopticon, but it's freezing, and yeah, I always seem to go there in the coldest months, and I'm back there in February in a cold month. So with thermal vest. Where I kind of feel like I haven't hit all the venues yet. What about you? Where's yours?
Probably just Blackfriars.
Yeah,
It's
nice,
the best kind of low ceiling. There's always the two flies fucking right in front of you. That's always fun.
in the summer heat. You would have that in the winter as well.
Well, there was the other day, so yeah. Yeah, I always just think the audiences there know that they're there for comedy. It's usually run by like people who are good at comedy.
Yeah.
Usually has a good host on.
Yeah.
Like, generally just all the great gigs tend to be out of Blackfriars.
When I first went to do Frog and Bucket, what's the gong show called? The Frog Show?
The
Beat the Frog.
Beat the Frog.
That was really good. I nearly won it.
Oh.
And I was so annoyed I got second, but I loved it. But the stage up there, oh my God, I'd hurt my foot at the time and I had boots on and stuff, and I was like, fuck, I've got to walk up these stairs to go on this tiny wee stage, and I'm an older woman, you know, I'm not as like strong as I could be, and health as well, but I was just like, oh my God, but I didn't fall off the stage and did all right.
Is it like a tall stage? Like,
yeah, it's like it's probably as wide as that table, but no, it's very narrow, kind of long. It's probably smaller than what I think. It's probably bigger than what I think in my head. But so you go up 2 or 3 stairs, like going up onto a proper stage. You go up 2 or 3 stairs, and then it's this kind of long, narrow. It's just to probably pack it out with seats rather than having the stage. So and you're up quite high. So the audience member, I suppose it's like it's not as, I was going to say bad as the Panopticon, but the Panopticon is quite good. But there's not as much as a disconnect. Yeah. So you're there at their wee faces are looking up at you from your feet. So they're kind of like that in the front row, looking up at you. So I didn't wear a skirt that night, which is
Yeah, I find it really difficult when they're really close to you and you're like having to talk double chin down.
Actually, I quite like the wee room at Van Winkle. That's a good wee room. Have you been in there yet?
Yes, I was in there. So I'm working on a show at the moment called Looking for Laughs, which is so it's a dating show. They have first dates and then they do improv based on the date, and then the audience asks a bunch of questions which the dates read to each other, and then they do more improv on that, and it's a really funny show. So they've asked me in to do stage management.
Great.
Off of the back of my open spot list thing on the forum, which is great. So it's interact in the forum. Apparently that's how you get work that isn't comedy work.
I know. I think, well, what can I do? Does anyone want information about joining a credit union?
Start positive for comedians. Free advice. So that was it's finishing up in Van Winkle now. They've got one more in there, but
really?
I was in there for that. I do like that, like the wee
But they'll carry the
downstairs
night on.
rooms. Aye, they're moving it, so it's now going to be a monthly show at the Stand and then a monthly show at Blackfriars, which is better for the size of show that is, because it's fine for stand-up. I really liked doing St Luke's, actually. That was a really good venue. Not
Whose gig was that?
So it wasn't actually in St Luke's, it's in the Wing Docks next to it, but it's James Taylor. He was on the podcast before. He's an old friend of mine from uni. And he put one on, I think, just for like a... I think he's put two on. He did, I think it's like a quarterly thing maybe, but he put one on that he was doing for his college course thing, his uni course, not college. And then, I don't know if there's been any other shows in there, but I think he's maybe doing it as like a quarterly thing. But it's good. It was a nice kind of, it's just a wee toy stage, but it's like, and everyone's at kind of higher seating, which I kind of like actually. I kind of like the idea of people being above you when because you're like performing up to them a wee bit. I mean, not me, I'm always in line with anyone, but like, they could be massively taller and stuff there, but you stick me on a foot tall stage and a tower. But yeah, I don't like it when they're like pure close.
What height are you?
5'11" and a half.
Oh, no.
I specify the half because I thought for years I was 5'11" and I was pushing it when I said that, and then measuring myself my friend measured me at the gym the other week and it was 5'11" and a half, and I was like, damn.
I'm 5'3" and a half.
You've got to have the half.
Yeah, I've got to have the half.
Especially at those percentages.
Yeah, I think so. I don't feel like you tower over me.
No, I don't. No, nobody. That was so loud. No,
No, I don't. I'm very in proportion. No,
it's the little and large thing is like iconic though. My best mate is tiny. Both my bestest of pals are tiny people.
My partner constantly takes piss out of me for being so small.
It is.
Every time we pass like a children's bicycle or a kiddie's seat or a shoe shop for kids, he's do you want to go in and get some stuff?
You would
it's
do
not
like
grating at all.
You do a very good you would do a very good elf, Christmas elf.
Yeah,
Little rosy cheeks, little.
Yeah, I can jump about like that.
A new character. There you go.
There we go. Elf on the dole.
The elf in need of help.
I'll be looking for work next year actually, so yeah.
Yeah, you might be.
Elf on the dole. Yeah. I'll do that.
Yeah, that's good.
There we go.
Yeah. So that is your favourite venue. There you go. Do you have like a kind of, I always ask who's your favourite local comic, but then everyone's like, I can't choose one because of course you can't choose one. Thanks! Is there anyone on the scene that you're like, oh, I'm really enjoying their stuff?
I just like people that are different from me, and I still don't know exactly what I do. So professionals and, getting to that level where every line is a punchline or how they frame things. Mm-hmm. I really like Michael Welch. I want to kind of big up the women, mind you. Michael was very kind to me one night. I had a brain freeze in the Edinburgh Stand, and I'm just going to say he's very kind to me. So was Jojo Sutherland and all that. So you can't name people, really, can you? Because you want, there's so many. But I just think people that are can do these amazing styles, like and or that they are, they like I'm a kind of, I don't come from any sort of background in performing arts. So people that do come from that and they have this, they know how to do stage presence and persona and everything, and that. I really like Phil O'Shea. He's so absurd and but talented performer. I love Kathleen Hughes. I haven't actually seen her act a lot, but Jade Kelly's amazing. I was at Jade's first gig. We both did Red Raw as a character act, and luckily I went on before her because she smashed it, and that's when I filled the time. And she obviously did really well and did well from it as well. And but if I'd gone on after, I probably wouldn't have gone on. So it was lovely, and I know she's doing great and stuff. I really like her stuff. Just kind of, I like everyone, I can see something in everyone, I very much sit in the fence. And I think you always look to those ahead of you to go like, well, if they can get that, there's no reason why you can't, but also, you're going to have to put the work in, and that's kind of my ethos as well, that I would work hard rather than maybe put myself forward for something that I didn't feel ready for as well. I'm very much, I have to put myself through the whole drudgery of it all, instead of just saying, right, I'll headline that or I'll open that or whatever.
I'll just jump in.
Yeah, I'll just jump in.
I think it does some people not so well when they do that as well, because you might have a really cracking 5 or 10 from your first set. It doesn't necessarily mean that your next one is going to be as good.
No,
everybody has a limited amount of material in them, and everybody's limits are different, and yours could have been, not yours, but like someone's
I've
could have
hit
been
my peak.
Yeah, you're like 5 minutes, that's all you've got 5 minutes of your funniest stuff. But people who are able to just keep churning, I reckon. But then on the same vein, Jimmy Carr always says you can teach anybody how to write comedy and stuff. So I'm rambling here. I've lost my train of thought.
You're all right.
Yeah.
Those thoughts were aware of time, so just...
No, that's true. That's true. We've got... Well, either... We've talked about it quite a lot.
Yeah. Did you try that puzzle I sent you?
No, I have it installed. I do have it installed.
Did you install it?
Yeah,
Are you talking
app.
about the... Mine's isn't. Mine's
It's the same game though, isn't it? The 2 stars in the box thing. I think I've played it before, but I think it had a different...
So I have issues with it. So it's a game where you have a grid of different different sizes of shapes within the grid, and then you can either search for 1 star or 2 stars. But have you seen people that can do it in like 10 seconds? It's impossible. So it's either a bot doing it. I think they've picked up that, because I was reading the comments the other night, so I was like, no way can this be done in like... But then someone is doing them very well, and he said, well, look, I just can see patterns and things and a wee bit differently.
To be fair, I think I've played so much Sudoku that I can do like... So it would be an easy Sudoku, but I can do it in something like 36 seconds.
I could do an
so
easy
you can
one.
go...
Do you want to hear my claim to fame?
Go on.
I once won the fiendish Sunday Times Sudoku and got £50 for it.
That's amazing.
You submit like 3 numbers, and they phoned me, and I think I was the only one that got it. I probably wasn't, but they phoned me like one Monday morning when I was hungover from probably like the day off, and they're like, oh, is that Yvonne? I'm like, and they're like, from the Sunday Times quiz, whatever, and I was like, no way! I got 50 quid, right?
That is amazing.
Thanks. I've done a lot of Sudoku. See, when you spend time in hospital, you need something to do. And I'm very much old school. I've started using my phone more for stuff now. But
yeah, I play a lot of it on my phone. But I used to just carry a Sudoku book about like every day going to uni, and I would just sit and just do Sudoku.
While you were in the lecture.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I love Sudoku. I genuinely like puzzles. As you were saying it the other day, it's just like meditative. It's like...
Yeah, it helps you switch off.
When your brain is so used to working at like rapid pace, forcing it to overwork itself, so because it's basically like letting a kid jump up and down on the bed before nap time, because then they'll be done in. I just do that. I like sit and do hundreds of puzzles at night, and then I'm like...
Yeah, no, it is. It's good. I have a lot of puzzle books in the house, and I don't do the sort of... Because I've done so many... This is really, like you were saying, it was lame talking about this, because I don't know a lot of people that do these things, so it's quite nice to open up to you.
A fellow puzzler.
And but I have like about... During lockdown, I kind of ordered... I was aghast. It wasn't like... I wasn't crying for toilet paper, I was crying for puzzle books, because there was none in the shelves. Because there was a lot of people at home doing more and buying the books, and I was like, they're buying my books!
These are mine!
These are mine! So I ended up subscribing to a couple of them, and I'd got them delivered. I can't remember. We were still getting posts, weren't we, early?
Yeah.
And I got them delivered, and so I've kept them because I used to write. I write sometimes with jokes in them if they come with words because of the words and the things. I use a lot of the words. I'm quite a wordy person. I use a lot of the words, and I go, "Oh, that's quite funny," or you could do something. So I just write me notes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
One day when you're...
But I prefer number puzzles. But,
Yes, but you can.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Anyway.
That was, excellent. Thank you for that. Gets me back on track, Do you have like a favourite kind of... Oh, no, something I was actually going to say. That was where I got skewed. It's really hard. I don't realise how weird my brain is when I'm
Are
not
you
on a
going to
medication.
be able to get a sleep or something this afternoon?
I'll be fine.
Are you going out tonight?
Yeah, but I'm going out to see my nephews, so they have bedtime at 7. I'll be fine.
So you're having a beer.
Some of the things that I've noticed at gigs recently, and someone was saying this to me the other day, is that gigs are just like absolutely chaotic at this time of year. And I don't know why, but it's like I've had... so I saw Bruce Fumi the other day, and he just it's obviously part of his bit, but he just basically did a whole bit where he had a mental breakdown on stage because nobody knew who the Holtzbergs were, if that's the right word or something. It's like...
Is it Holtzberg?
Maybe they like have big chins, people. That's his joke. But he just had like a big bit that was like a mental breakdown about, you came to a comedy show and you don't know the Scottish history of this. It was very good, very good. But that was bizarre. I saw the one where
you mean the comedians are having a weird time, or it's just a weird time?
No, the comedians are being weird.
They're being weird.
In a good way. Like, I saw a guy called Maestro on Sunday. He... his whole 5 minutes was about him. So Tarium introduces him, and then he goes, Maestro! And from the back of the room, this guy walks very, very slowly, like trying to awkwardly get through the chairs up on the stage. Tarium's going, oh, the whole time. He comes up, he walks past Tarium and goes backstage, and he goes, right now, and he goes, welcome to the stage, Maestro! And then he comes out, and then he started, he goes and he puts his, coat over the microphone, and then he goes to the back of the stage, and then he's, behind the curtain, and he's just, messing about. And he did 5 minutes of just, pure silence. He brought a guy up on stage, brought him under the
pure
quilt.
Physical comedy?
Yeah, just pure physical comedy.
I was at a physical comedy workshop the other night.
I saw that, actually.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Just the other thing that I saw was someone came on playing... dressed as Gandalf, playing Lord of the Rings on the trombone. Things have been mad. They've just been mad, but I've been so enjoying it. Well, so tell me how was the Humour Mill comedy workshop then?
Yeah,
so
it was
Lucia
great.
Was there.
So it was Freya Bentro that was running it. So the people I knew were Kathleen Hughes and Lawrence, and I met a really lovely guy. He was a counsellor, this guy, is it Ben? And he was just so open, and he brought this really amazing energy. So he used to do stage theatre work, so he's not performed for a long time. He hasn't done comedy. So there was improvs there. They were very good at all the actions. And it was a 2-hour workshop. We had to do certain things, and it was just how you can... even walking on stage and just being mentally prepared a wee bit better if you're, if you were thinking, I'm a bit, not even dealing with nerves, but just maybe confidence and just using your body a bit differently. So I have thought about how I can bring it into my act if I do pause. Because I used to do this thing where I would pause a bit more just for that awkwardness, but I'm not an awkward person. Maybe I am, I don't know. But I'm not too awkward in real life or anything. So I thought, well, is that genuine on stage? But I did like that gap with some things that you would just let people run with, or maybe catch up with a joke.
Yeah, and, ebbs and flows and all
that. And so I thought that was quite nice. So it was a really worthwhile thing to do. There was about 15 of us there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, maybe more. So yeah, really worth going to.
Yeah, I'm planning on going to Humour Mill on Monday.
Yeah, I think I've logged in. I've registered twice, so if anyone wants, I know this won't be going out.
Yeah, that's true. If anyone wants this show for a thing 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll see you there on Monday then.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. So if in terms of comedy? Like, were you a fan of, before you decided to get into stand-up, were you a fan of stand-up comics? Who's your favourite? What's your kind of favourite comedy, movies, TV shows, actors, stand-ups, etc.?
So, okay, that's great.
Yes, throw it at the wall.
Throw it at the wall, see what sticks. I love Zoe Lyons. When I first saw Zoe Lyons, I thought she was great. But I grew up in the golden era of, like, you know, sitcoms. And Friday night, when I was wee, all my family were out. So Friday night, not like I wasn't under 12 or anything, but and home alone. But Friday night was always my comedy night. I would go to I've got a big sweet tooth. I would go to the shop. I would buy myself like a packet of cheesy puffs. I'd buy myself sweets. I'd buy myself a bottle of Iron Brew or a can of Iron Brew, and I would stay in. And I still kind of do it now because nobody's booking me for gigs for a Friday. Anyway,
Me neither.
I would just watch comedy. So all your Channel 4 stuff. I watched all the shows and everything. So I think my first stand-up was obviously Billy Connolly. Going to see him. I saw him a couple of times. Wow. We had his album when we were young. We had albums and stuff. So just that, and my dad, you know, your family's humour and using humour to get through life's hard things as well. So it was always there, but I never ever associated myself with it. I just didn't know. And I would go to the stand and watch Red Raw and some shows and comedy shows and still no connection.
You didn't realise that
I didn't realise that I could do it. I didn't realise I could. I just thought, this is brilliant, these people that do this and make me laugh. And then you see more women, so we had French and Saunders, we had all the double acts. I'd love to do a double act. I think that would really enhance writing as well and sketching and stuff. And now it's just all there for you, and you're like, God, I'm in, you know, the golden years of my life, and you're like, can I do everything I want to do? You know, plus doing everything else like your work. So, but I think Billy Connolly definitely, and then try to think of other like the female comedians I love. Who's yours?
I think female comedians' favourites are probably like, Fern Brady is my favourite.
Oh, she's amazing. I performed at gig for her. I know, it was Material Girl. And I actually thanked Amanda. I was like, thank you so much. It was done, I don't know if it was last year or the year before it, or it might have been last year. And it was for Comedy Festival. And Fern was headlining, and she was lovely. She came in the green room, or the room at McCool's, and she just had her lovely clothes on, and I was just like,
you're so pretty.
Yeah, she's really pretty, yeah. I used to like seeing her early stuff, because she was talking about her sexuality and stuff, and I used to really like her kind of hard, almost like brutal way of hitting things. Yeah. Again, not realising that I could do something like that. So good one for mentioning her. Yeah, she's amazing.
It's funny that gap that you can have when you're just like, it never occurred to me that it was an option that I could go and do comedy, because you just see, you're just like, you kind of see them as the dogs.
Who is the dogs?
You sort of see them in this like, well, they're up on stage kind of thing. How would I do that? Uh-huh. But I think a lot of people as well don't necessarily always realise that being a fan of comedy is a thing. Like, to me, I just thought like, okay, well, I watched sitcoms, Only Fools and Horses and Porridge and all that stuff growing up. Of course, I like that. I grew up watching panel shows like Who's Line Is It Anyway and Mock the Week and like all of that stuff. So I was just like, surely everybody watches this. And then I just watched stand-up stuff because we'd always watch Live at the Apollo.
Yeah, Live at the Apollo.
Like, it never occurred to me that isn't just a natural part of everybody's life. The same as my family didn't really watch X Factor, but like obviously loads of families, like that's a part of culture.
True. Yeah, it's a culture.
And I just never really thought of it as it being a unique experience. And then when I started,
it's quite nice way to look at.
Like when I've been talking to my friends since I started doing comedy, I've realised most of them actually don't even watch that much comedy or like that much stuff. And you're like, this.
But a lot of people have opinions on it, don't they?
Yes.
It's funny you're saying that
Opinions,
about
but no
the
taste.
panel shows. The very best show ever was Whose Line Is It Anyway? It
Whose Line was amazing.
And I wished, at the time, something did chime in me because I knew I could do that. I knew that I could do that. I used to mimic people and impersonate things. I was always the witty one. Maybe not funny, but always witty. No one ever told me I was funny. And I in my mind, I just loved that programme. Never missed an episode. And when I was younger, now I probably couldn't remember, but there was nothing else like it on TV either. Yeah. And yeah, I just wish something had went, give it a go.
Yeah. And now you have. Maybe one day you'll be on the latest season of the refresh of Whose Line.
Yeah, there will be one. Oh, that would be. I don't even do improv. I know that if I turned up there, they would all be like, "Oh my God, you're so good at this."
It's funny because to me that is improv, obviously, but I never in my head really connect it with the other improv where you're doing scenes. Like obviously it's scenes we like seeing things, but like actually doing a full acty out bit with somebody, but going out and just popping out a one-liner, the first thing that comes to your head. I love that stuff. I think that's
amazing.
That's so funny. So are you? I'll ask you a couple more things and then we'll round up.
Yeah.
Are you going to be doing a show at the festival? Are you taking your show to the Glasgow International Comedy Festival? Hashtag GICF. Which I also am doing a show at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival.
Tell me all about it. Luckily it's not on the same day as mine, so
no,
that's
thank
good.
goodness. We can actually go and support each other.
No, you'll be working.
Oh, yes, sorry.
I have a
So
screen
you're on
now.
the door.
I have a screen.
Sorry.
I was going to say, for old time's sake, I still have that bit of cardboard.
the same one. Don't get a new
Right,
one.
okay.
Like if it's been marked and bent and everything, make sure it's exactly
So the venue I'm looking for doesn't need to have a TV screen. That's what we're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
no.
have you picked a venue?
Yeah, I've got it all sorted.
Have you
The
announced
tickets
it
should be
all?
on sale.
Yeah.
They are on sale now.
Yeah.
No, not announced it, but it doesn't matter. On you go. You go first.
All right. I asked first, but fine.
Because I can't remember the date of mine.
The whole time I'm talking, you're just trying. Yeah. So mine is on March 27th at the Dram.
Good.
Yes, so that's the venue
a nice
Jackie's been booking.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's not my favourite, as I've said, but like, what was the chance of me getting like Blackfriars? Everybody's in Blackfriars.
Yeah.
Everyone of import is there. I was looking. I'd looked at like Van Winkle East and stuff like that, but I was going to miss the deadline for the brochure registration if I waited for them to release the dates for that the time that I wanted. So
Good on you.
I just went for it. And
I love your wee graphic for it. It's great. Yeah.
Someone said it was like really Monty Python, and I like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's amazing.
Like
yeah.
cutesy, silly heads. It's funny because it does reflect me because it's like very much the art that I create. Like as you can see, I mean that frog isn't by me, but like as you can see in here, the random things that have been painted on are generally my art. So it's all very kind of like cutesy and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my comedy isn't that cutesy. I'm still trying to figure out what the whole.
Don't worry
brand
about
is.
it. Don't worry about it. Just get jokes, make it funny, and enjoy it. Just don't worry about all this. Who I'm on stage, even though your show is called
Why am I like this?
Why am I like this?
But that's all in the jokes.
But that's good.
Like that's all the whole point of it.
Don't worry, and you'll have. Even if you have an opener, if you've only got half an hour, don't worry about the time because you'll fill it. It's a quick hour, even getting people in the door, getting them out. You've got, say, maybe 50 minutes of pure, on.
Actual stage,
and just go and see shows as well to inspire you because that's what I'm trying to do now is just going to see people. So I'll be, doing that.
Just try to see what other people talk about and things like that. So are you doing the same show or are you doing a new show?
Yeah, because I need to, it's not...
It needs refining.
It needs refining, it needs kind of more themes. I could probably go a bit further with some things. So I've kind of written a couple of things since Edinburgh. So my show's called Yvonne Hughes is Absolutely Riddled.
Yes.
And I'm going to have it on the I think it's the 15th of March. I can't remember.
I'll put up a thing.
It's
of
in
the
Tenants
page.
Bar at 7:30. That's all I know. I can't remember the date, but I've written a nice synopsis of it and stuff, which I'm like, oh, that'll help write the show. So I'll just stick. That'll be my concept. But yeah, it'll be. I think the first 15 minutes of my Edinburgh show could probably go, and just maybe have a less of a lead-in time to the things that have went on.
Yeah, it's like you could probably compress it and still keep all the jokes that are in it, but just like rush through the information, basically.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely, I could sit and fill out, I could talk about myself for for days. Whether it's actually all funny is a different matter. I know it's
funny.
Like,
yeah.
whether it's funny, yeah. Because of what I've been doing, so these sets I've been doing this week, and basically I'm going to try, and it's probably an overestimation of what I'd be able to do, but I'm going to try and go and do maybe 50 gigs between now and March.
I tried that for my 50th birthday and I just gave up. But
I think realistically I'll probably
will you include me in that, because I really need to be getting back into it.
And practice and we can carpool.
We'll carpool, yeah.
Because I'm wanting to go and do like some free for all and stuff like that, to just like bite the bullet and go up there and do it. But
that's a nice idea.
10 that I was doing, it's basically, so I wrote out what I wanted to talk about first. That's probably about 20 minutes, even with like without, even when it's like cut back, that could still be 20 minutes in itself. And it's basically about the men who made me. And so I'm splitting it in two to do it as 10 minutes. And the second half is some stuff that I've already been workshopping, but I'm putting it on the back burner for now. I'm going to come back to it. And that's like about my dad and about my grandpa, because they both just are very funny people. And then the other 10, which is the one that I've been doing this week, is about all of the guys that I ever dated and the terrible life choices.
I think mine would be a 2-hour show.
Because
terrible, absolutely terrible life choices.
Just rip the piss out yourself, rip the piss out of people. And then the last little bit of that portion is about Craig and how he is the right one. But there's still so many funny aspects about our lives and stuff. So it's all going to come in that. And then I'm going to kind of look at like the women in my life, I guess, as well. And then school is going to be a big portion. And then I need to fit that all into like, at most, maybe like 40 minutes. And make that like that's my story of why am I like this.
I think you're going to have to cut some stuff, but I'll leave it
that's
to you.
so much. Like that could be what I might do is I might write it out as if it's an hour, and then workshop different bits of it that
That's a good
are
idea.
like the best bits, and then I know it'll be half an hour at least, kind of from there.
Great.
So, that's. I mean, that's been an hour and 17 minutes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Gosh, I know. I've need to go and walk the dog.
I know.
We're
lagging. It's
legs
this
crossed.
time of day in the winter. Yeah. Well, hopefully you don't come home to a puddle.
No, it's very good. It's very
So
good.
we can do a wee roundup then. So what are some things that you've got going on? Assuming this is coming out something like the 2nd or 3rd of December, I can't remember what date. What is the festive season looking like for you?
Oh, it's going to be busy. We have Giggles from Glasgow. That's the biggest thing we're trying to sell tickets for just now. Tickets are on sale. Giggles from Glasgow. I've said it, haven't I? Giggles from Glasgow. Giggles from Glasgow with myself, Amanda Kirsty Lynch, Tia, and we've got 2 special guests. We've got Peter Bell. We've allowed some Bobby in. Just for one night.
I'm sorry, Peter.
I didn't say that.
I don't know anything about Peter's
I don't know anything about that. I was going to go with the ginger. And Jeannie Jonesy and...
Me!
You.
Today, so
on the door. No.
That's particularly exciting.
Great to have you involved in that. It's in Clydebank.
I lived in Clydebank for quite a while,
Did
so
you?
I'll be going to one of my cultural
Well, the
roots.
thing is, we figured out Clydebank needs an intervention.
Yes.
It's just this town of there's no culture, everyone's at home. I don't know anyone. So we found this venue called the Clyde Venue. It's kind of old church reformed to be this lovely venue. We've got a high stage. It'll be like what was the one you were talking about? So I'm hoping it's going to work. If it works as a comedy night, then I'm going to have tickets on sale for March and do something for the festival. But I might not budget under the festival. I'll see. But then I'll miss the brochure, so I better get a move on. And I've got someone in mind for that who's already tentatively said yes, depending on. So we just need to get people from Clydebank off their bums. Does this go out in Clydebank? Can we put it out specifically
the internet,
into the houses of Clydebank? Yeah, when you're doing the, what's it called? Clips, you can do that targeted audiences. People, and just give them this bit. Just give them this bit because
#bankies.
#bankies.
Calling all bankies.
So it's going to be a great night. So all my efforts going into that now. I've put posters out around Clydebank, and just gigs and travelling about Edinburgh, Glasgow, the world. And I think next year I'm going to make a better structure. I feel like you're on this hamster wheel between Glasgow, Edinburgh, and then your other things. I'm not doing Leicester next year. I was doing Leicester. I might do that following year, but just keep going and try to figure out what is it I want to do with comedy as well. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Expand on it. I think that's a really good idea, especially like if you've got your smaller. It's small. When I say smaller shows, as in like because you're the Giggles from Glasgow is a split bill. You're not
so
having
I'm hosting that. Yeah, I love hosting
Oh,
actually.
hosting is so fun. It's one of my favourite things. I just wish I could just go up and host all the time. I would just do it all the time.
You're very good.
I like just talking to people.
Yeah. I take it the gig at Paisley's, are you still going with that?
I haven't booked one for this, for Christmas. That was the plan, but then I decided I was going to do the show, and so I'm currently in talks with my best mate, who is also an event planner. So I might with her.
So that night I knew. So when I walked in that night to that pub, the guy that ran it or that opened up for you. Anyway, there was two guys there when I walked in, right? And one of them smiled at me. He's like, "Hi," and I'm going, "Oh, hi," and I'm going, "Oh, he seems quite familiar, quite smiley." And I thought, what lovely people. And then it turned out it's my friend's son. I know very well, Sam, and he works in there. So I was like, and
it's just like out with the
he'd had a haircut. It was just no. I knew he worked in there, but I think he'd went back to dark hair, and I just didn't register it was him because I was obviously so nervous about performing. So that was funny, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting old. I'm forgetting things.
Well, I'm allegedly not old, and I'd still do that every time, especially in comedy, because you're meeting folk that you've met before, and you're just like, hi. I had that the other day. I did just when we were laughing in Blackfriars, and I knew the people who were filming it, and when I walked over, she very excitedly, she was like, hi, and I was like, hi. And you're like, yes, I know this person, I know I should know them, but yeah. Anyway, so that's good. So go and see. You have to change the name. No, because the thing is, I have the voice.
Giggles for Glasgow.
Giggles for Glasgow. Glasgow.
Why can't you say it?
Glasgow.
Do your Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Right, there you go.
Giggles for Glasgow.
Giggles for the big tune.
Giggles for the tune. Glasgow. See, I would say Glasgow, but I don't know if that's because most of my broadness comes from being family for Kilmarnock, so it's a different kind of. Oh,
there is. I know they're lilt.
The sorts.
They're deep lilt.
I went into Kilmarnock. I went into a cafe and I was talking to the woman, and I just suddenly heard. I was like, oh God, I sound really Glaswegian compared to her.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of this because they're very hoi hoi hoi.
But also that there is a Kilmarnock. There's a kind of drawl in the ahs.
We're for Kilmarnock.
Kilmarnock. Is that down there?
No, that's Glasgow.
No, what's the other one? Dunmellington, that's where my cousin's wife comes from. Yes, so...
Excellent, top facts. You're giving away your identity. People will be able to like figure out your passwords based on
Dunmellington, 1, 2, 3.
Yes, those random information.
They have 13 characters.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to have to do 2 outros and we're going to have to do an intro as well, because I didn't know how long we were going to go, so I didn't do the split.
I thought we'd actually do longer, but yeah, no, we've done all right. Yeah,
we've done all right. I mean, it could have went on longer, but
we have things to do.
We've got the dogs to pee, dogs to pee. So yes, this is the end of episode 2. They love this. This is what the audience lives for, is my disorganisation, isn't it, guys?
Yeah. I'm glad with some semblance of structure. I really thought that when you've asked me that first question, that we had like covered it, and then I was on to a second question. So I think I might have spoken too much, but that's...
No, it's perfect, because what we actually did is you were talking about how you started, and then we started talking about Fringe, and then I was talking about we were talking about your best gig, I think, and then we landed up talking about Janet. So, and then we were talking about venues, and we were talking about the only, like, everything all was talked about. It just was in a more
fluid,
free-form way.
But people like structure, don't they? So,
I don't know.
Anyway,
I call it a stream of conscious podcast, because
that's fine. We've smashed it.
We've smashed it. This is a very organised for streaming.
Yeah,
so yes. So thank you very much for being my guest, the amazing Yvonne Hughes. Make sure you check out her Glasgow International Comedy Festival show. Yvonne Hughes is absolutely riddled. It will be banging, and I'll be there. And then come and see Giggles for Glasgow at the
21st of December. Clyde venue, Clyde Bank.
There you go. And so yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
God,
Christmas.
Yeah, this is a Christmas episode, so Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I just slapped my mic.
Out on a limb. Hey, if you dug this episode of Out on a Limb, make sure to subscribe for new episodes every month. Come and party with us at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival on the 27th of March at Dram with my show, Why Am I Like This?